Controversy lingers over the way the Bucs at Lions playoff game ended. Bucs coach Todd Bowles had a timeout he chose not to use because he said yesterday the game was over. Well, not quite. So Keyshawn, big deal or no big deal to you that Todd Bowles didn't utilize that last timeout?
Not a big deal. I mean, I know you say, well, anything could happen. They could botch a snap, whatever the case is. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
It's really not that big of a deal. You got to think, 1:33 left. Tampa's on the 28-yard line. I mean, Lions at the ball at the Tampa's 28-yard line with 1:33 to go. What they going to do, kick a field goal? I mean, like, what you going to do? But in all honesty, though, Skip, that's not the question. I don't care about that, taking that time out.
I know, you care about the go for two.
Tell me why you went for two.
Right.
Why are you chasing points?
I don't know.
That's the question that I want to know, is why didn't you just take the PAT?
Left. Yeah,
just take the PAT. 4.5 to go, get a stop, pin them deep. You got 2 minutes to go. Boom, 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 go down and tie up the game.
Right. I don't see it as a huge deal. I see what Todd saw as an inevitability. If this is a 60-yard field goal or something, sure, you could send everybody and hope and pray you block the field goal and maybe do something, but I don't see it as a huge deal, as they're making it out to be like, oh, well, they had a chance to win this game. Even if they missed the field goal, you got no timeouts, you got to drive the ball down the field, and you got to go for two and make it. It was a lot that needed to happen to get the win. Could he have done it? Sure. He didn't want to. You don't want to leave your players out there wasting time.
Yeah. Okay. Just know this: the people upstairs in Tampa do not think this was a big deal, but they do wish that he had at least tried, because the point was here, Detroit messed it up first because Detroit had it to kneel out the game, and Coach Campbell said after the game, it's on me. I messed it up because they didn't run the clock all the way down. They snapped the ball too early on the last snap, and it gave suddenly Todd Bowles a chance to call timeout and to force them to make a choice, because the choice would have been they could try a 49-yard field goal just to ice the game, because that would have put them up 11, or they could have just punted. It would be a pooch punt, try to punt them deep, try to pin them inside their 10-yard line. So just theoretically, if Dan Campbell had then messed it up again and tried for the field goal, that would have been 49 yards, and missed the field goal, then Baker gets the ball back at his 39-yard line with 30 seconds left. So that was a possibility if you tried the field goal and missed it. I know this is complicated, but obviously, if you have a timeout, you might as well try, even though it feels like a 1,000,000-to-1 shot that anything would work out. We've seen these things work out before, where Hail Marys get hit and connect. So Detroit should have run the clock out after Baker threw the late interception. The game should have been over, but then Dan Campbell didn't manage the clock right to kill the clock, and it left Todd Bowles the opportunity to use a timeout that he did not use, and he should have. And he probably should have owned it after the game and just said, hey, I just didn't use my timeout. But he said, well, the game was over. Well, it wasn't completely over. And I don't know how you guys would feel if you're playing for Tampa at that point. Would you want your coach to go ahead and take the shot at one last gasp and use the timeout?
Yeah, I mean... I guess it depends on the kind of the competitor. If I think I can block the field goal, or I think we can block the field goal, then maybe we'd have those conversations. But I played on defenses that always felt like they had a chance.
Okay, but again, that Badgley kid who kicks for Detroit, on 50+, he was 5 out of 13. I think he was 3 or 4 from 49. So is there a chance if they went for a field goal, he would just miss it and you would get it at that spot? There's a chance.
Yeah, but they were probably not going to go for the field goal. So
I don't know. I don't know what they would have done.
Right, we don't
Maybe.
know. A lot of speculation.
In that situation, if they block that and scoop and score.
Oh, well, then now you got a whole
you
nother thing
can't
going on.
put yourself. Dan Campbell can't put himself in that position where all of
Okay,
a sudden
yeah.
I'm trying with a field goal kicker that, what did you say, was 5 for 30?
5 for 13.
Oh, 5
5
for 13.
from 50 plus.
From
That's
50
what he is
plus.
in his
5 for
career.
13, 50.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, okay. Okay, all right. So here's the upshot of this. I think the people who run the Bucs, from what I'm told, are so happy with the job Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield did this year that this is just nothing to them.
Yeah,
because nobody really expected them to do much, and obviously they beat Philadelphia. We're about to talk about the Eagles next. They beat them 32-9. They went up and played a very good game at Detroit against, as you guys just pointed out, a very good Detroit team. They were tied in the fourth quarter. They had a chance. They cut it to what should have been 7. I don't know why he didn't just kick the point and seize the momentum of it, but they gave a good account of themselves. They had a very good year overall. They're committed to Baker. I think they're going to sign him for 3 more years and give him decent money that he earned, and it's onward and upward in Tampa.
Yeah, the Glazer family feels very confident. I mean, obviously there was talks of Todd being on the hot seat coming into the season. They had $88 million in dead money because of Tom Brady retiring, and they pushed it.
Yeah.
And so to be able to have this kind of success, go to the playoffs, get a win with Baker and a $4 million deal, et cetera,
Yeah.
they overachieved, so they got to be happy with it.
They did. No, they are. All right, speaking of those Eagles, up next, they have now fired both coordinators. And is it even remotely possible they would consider trading Jalen Hurts?
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
He's playing in his 6th straight AFC Championship game. Incredible. Yet, just for perspective, even though Mahomes has won 2 of his 3 Super Bowls, he's yet to have a signature spectacular performance in a Super Bowl. I'd give him a B for his comeback win over the 49ers featuring Richard Sherman, a D for his loss to Brady, and a B for his win last year over the Eagles, in which he threw for only 182 yards. But I'm guessing Richard will tell me I'm grading Mahomes way too strictly. Go, Richard.
Skip, you are grading him on a weird curve that I don't know who's at the top of, because there's nobody at the top of these decisions, at these grades. Against us, he had some struggles early on. We held him pretty much in check all the way till 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. We picked him off multiple times. Yep. And then he went on an incredible run. He started with a 3rd and 15 to Tyreek Hill that they had to have in a crucial situation with Nicholas John Bosa bearing down on him. He made a huge play, and he made plays the rest of the game and ran off 21, 26 straight points to win that game for his team. Then you talk about the Tampa Bay. I give him a B+ for that, because he started struggling, and then he played well when they needed to have it.
A B+?
A B+. B+. And then the game against the Bucs, when he's missing both of his tackles,